Imagine an army so bold, it crossed mountains to conquer one of the most powerful empires in history. Today, on Country of History, we're diving into the story of Hannibal Barca, the legendary Carthaginian general who nearly brought Rome to its knees. Was he a villain, or a strategic genius? Our story begins in 218 BCE. Rome is an unstoppable force steadily expanding across the Mediterranean. But in the city of Carthage across the sea in North Africa, a young general named Hannibal has a different vision. He's sworn an oath to his father, promising to be Rome's eternal enemy. And unlike anyone before him, Hannibal is determined to bring war to Rome itself. In 218 BCE, Hannibal assembled a vast army of North African soldiers, Iberian warriors, and incredibly, around 40 war elephants. His plan? To take his forces on a perilous journey through the Alps, catching the Romans by surprise. It was a gamble, a dangerous, nearly impossible route. But Hannibal believed that the element of surprise would give him the upper hand. The journey was brutal. Hannibal's troops faced freezing temperatures, avalanches, and constant ambushes from local tribes. Many of his men and almost all of his elephants perished in the mountains. But against all odds, Hannibal emerged on the other side with his army intact. Rome had no idea what was coming. Crossing the Alps was more than just a military maneuver, it was a psychological strike. Hannibal had done the unthinkable, proving to Rome that he was willing to go to any length to defeat them. Now, he stood on Roman soil, ready to challenge the might of the empire. Hannibal's greatest triumph came at the Battle of Cani in 216 BCE, a battle that would go down in history as one of the most devastating defeats Rome ever suffered. Facing a Roman army twice the size of his own, Hannibal used a brilliant tactic called the double envelopment. He positioned his forces in a crescent shape, luring the Romans to attack the center. As the Romans pushed forward, Hannibal's flanks closed in from both sides, trapping the Roman soldiers in a deadly embrace. What followed was a massacre. The Roman army was annihilated with tens of thousands killed in a single day. Hannibal's strategy was so effective that military tacticians still study it today. Cani was more than just a victory, it was a statement. Hannibal had shown Rome that their vast armies could be outmaneuvered, outsmarted, and utterly destroyed. In Rome, fear turned to panic as the city prepared for what seemed like an inevitable invasion. But here's the question historians still ask. After Cani, why didn't Hannibal march on Rome? The truth is, Hannibal's forces, though victorious, were exhausted and undersupplied. He lacked the siege equipment necessary to break through Rome's defenses, and he needed reinforcements from Carthage that never came. Despite his victories, Hannibal found himself stranded in enemy territory without the means to deliver the final blow. Meanwhile, Rome adopted a new strategy under the leadership of Fabius Maximus, who became known as the Delayer. Instead of meeting Hannibal in open battle, Fabius waged a war of attrition, avoiding direct confrontations and cutting off Hannibal's supply lines. It was a slow and steady approach, but it wore down Hannibal's forces over time. Rome was learning from Hannibal's tactics and adapting, a testament to the resilience that would ultimately make them one of history's longest-lasting empires. For over a decade, Hannibal remained a thorn in Rome's side, winning battles across Italy but never able to take Rome itself. In 203 BCE, the Roman general Scipio Africanus took the war to Carthage, forcing Hannibal to return home to defend his city. The two generals met at the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE. Here, Scipio used Hannibal's own tactics against him, outflanking the Carthaginian forces and securing a decisive Roman victory. Defeated, Hannibal fled Carthage and spent the rest of his life as an exile, moving from one court to another in the eastern Mediterranean, always pursued by Rome. Even in exile, he continued to plan and dream of ways to challenge Rome, but his days of conquest were over. So, was Hannibal a villain or a visionary? To Rome, he was the ultimate enemy, a man whose name became synonymous with terror and destruction. But to Carthage and later generations, Hannibal was a hero, a master of strategy who nearly accomplished the impossible. His tactics at battles like Cani are still studied in military academies worldwide, and his story has inspired leaders for centuries. Hannibal's war with Rome was more than just a conflict between two cities. It was a clash of empires, ideologies, and wills. And though he didn't conquer Rome, Hannibal's legacy endured. reminding the world of a time when Rome faced a truly formidable foe. So what do you think? Was Hannibal a ruthless villain or one of history's greatest military minds? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching Country of History. Subscribe for more tales of conquest, strategy, and the people who shaped our past.